The one thing they ask of us is to stay here, where it's safe.
We've all heard of the drama that went on off-screen during the making of Olivia Wilde's film, Don't Worry, Darling. But what really went on behind the scenes to make this long-awaited movie come to life? Here are all the behind-the-scenes details we didn't know about Don't Worry, Darling. Here we go. Number 1. Harry Styles definitely knows how to lighten the mood and isn't afraid to get a little silly on set. Acting is serious business, no matter what film set you're on. And we all know that not everything that went on behind the scenes with the Don't Worry Darling cast was all fun and games. It's clear by the looks of this behind-the-scenes footage, though, that hanging with Harry on set was anything but serious. Sure, this movie may have sparked some drama among the cast.
What do you think they're really doing out there?
What do you mean?
But if these clips are any indication, we're sure that having Harry as a co-worker almost certainly lightened the tension. Number 2. When Don't Worry Darling's trailer first dropped, it took the internet by storm. There are some iconic images from the trailer that we all certainly remember. You probably recall this moment that assures us that we're, unsurprisingly, in for some incredible acting from Florence Pugh when we see this movie. It may not be our instinct to wonder what goes on behind the scenes to get a moment like this on film. From this clip, though, it's really incredible to see the makings of an iconic on-screen moment. Number 3. It's to be expected that its leading lady would be involved in at least a few action scenes. But judging by these clips from filming, Florence Pugh got more than her fair share of exercise in while making this film. Can you imagine doing all this running take after take? We suppose it's all in a day's work for Florence. Number 4. We're finally going to get a chance to see #Holivia hard at work. Let's be real. Who among us doesn't want to know a detail or two about how one of Hollywood's it couples started out as a workplace romance? Legend has it that Harry Styles and Olivia Wilde, who are known lovingly by fans as #Holivia, began their love affair while working on Don't Worry Darling together. While it's safe to say that this on-set clip is probably just giving us a glimpse into Olivia directing her movie's star, rather than an IRL lover's quarrel, it's also easy to see these two lovebirds' chemistry, even when they're hard at work. Number 5. Driving on camera is actually a lot harder than it is IRL. We don't tend to think about how exactly driving scenes in movies are made, but according to this clip of cameras filming Florence Pugh driving in what appears to be a car chase scene, there's a lot that goes into it. Still, it's probably not nearly as much as what went into this intense car crash scene. Hopefully no cars were harmed in the making of this moment, but we find that hard to believe. Number 6. It's clear that Harry and Florence are the perfect Jack and Alice. It's gotta be pretty weird making out with someone you're not actually dating, with cameramen and a boom operator just a few feet away from you. Still, as two of today's most beloved stars, Florence Pugh and Harry Styles are professionals, and they seem to be totally used to it by now.
I like about acting is I feel like I have no idea what I'm doing.
Besides the general awkwardness of being movie stars, these clips also show that Harry and Florence have plenty of chemistry to make their characters, Jack and Alice, come to life. Number 7. We know you want to know all about what's going on behind the scenes during that dinner party scene. As is very fitting for a movie about gender dynamics inspired by the 1950s, Don't Worry Darling has a very pivotal scene that's set during a dinner party. Olivia Wilde said that it was intimidating creating such a pivotal scene in a setting that may have lost the audience's attention. She said she ensured that the audience would stay engaged in the scene by adding a score that would make it feel like a battle scene.
And so you have to continue to inject energy into the scene.
As well as incredible camera work. This behind-the-scenes footage of the scene being filmed proves just how vital this camera work is likely to be to the end product. Number 8. According to Olivia, there were plenty of accidents that happened throughout the making of the movie that ended up making it even better. She says that even an unexpected on-set explosion made the movie better. If that's true, she either looks at the glass very half full or has some serious luck. Number 9. Harry gets back to his musical roots in Don't Worry Darling. While Harry Styles is certainly a serious player in the acting game nowadays, we all know that music is his first love. When you see him performing on stage, uncomfortable is not a word you'd use to describe him. Yet, acting is a bit of a different story. In his own words, acting is kind of very uncomfortable at times. I think you have to trust a lot. It requires a lot of trust if you want to give it everything. So, not everything about being in front of the camera makes Harry totally at ease. But by the looks of this behind-the-scenes footage, we can see that when he combines acting with his knack for performing on stage, he's definitely in his sweet spot. Number 10. Lots of 1950s inspiration went into making the film what it is. According to Olivia Wilde, this was certainly central to the movie's plot.
So inspired by the architecture, art, film, and music of that era.
She even made mood boards featuring lots of famous faces from that era, like Nat King Cole and Frank Sinatra, and she modeled Florence Pugh's look after Bridget Bardot. Number 11. So much attention to detail was paid when creating the fictional setting Victory, and making it the perfect, imperfect utopia. But according to both Harry Styles and Chris Pine, the set made acting easy, and allowed them to fall into the rhythm of people living during that time period. Number 12. Olivia's original idea for Victory was based on a photo called Poolside Gossip. By a series of fortunate events, they ended up shooting the first scene at the exact location where the photo was taken. It's amazing how things work out when you have an absolutely massive movie budget. Number 13. Plenty of directors act in their own movies, and it's pretty hard to imagine doing two jobs at once like that. In Don't Worry Darling, Olivia Wilde seems to pull off these double roles well, but this behind-the-scenes clip shows just how many hats she had to wear during some scenes, and highlights just how much of a challenge that must have been. Number 14. It's called movie magic for a reason, and seeing this BTS clip shows us just how many people and how many little details go into making sure major film shoots go off without a hitch. Seeing the crew setting up markers for the actors is a good reminder that a lot more goes into making movies than meets the eye when we're watching it on screen. Number 15. As it turns out, Olivia's ability to act while directing was a big reason why Florence Pugh is in the movie at all. Olivia Wilde actually originally cast herself as the lead role. But being a leading lady while directing is definitely not as easy as it sounds. And the costumes involved with the period piece were certainly no help. According to Olivia, all of these men had done this in comfortable shoes, and I swear part of it is that I was in a f***ing bustier and heels and a wig. Ultimately, Olivia was tired of getting touch-ups to her hair and makeup, and says she thought, I need to be at the monitor, I need to be in charge. And so, Olivia did decide to focus on her directing gig more, and she thought casting a younger actor as Alice would fit the story better anyway. Plus, casting Florence Pugh is always the right move. What do you think of what went on behind the scenes during the making of Don't Worry Darling? Are you excited to see the movie? We want to hear all about it in the comments. And if you liked this video, remember to like and subscribe to The Things for all the best entertainment news.